Exponent rules 2, power of a power. Review briefly what you studied last time, which was quotient of powers. Remember, quotient of powers might have looked like a to the 7th power, b to the 6th power, divided by a squared, b to the 9th. We talked about expanding, but we also talked about a simpler way of using subtraction. So a to the 7 minus 2, b to the 6 minus 9. So now we would end up with a to the 5th, b to the negative 3. And again, we'll take care of those negatives in another lesson. The product of powers, which possibly said I have c to the 8th power times c to the 2nd power, which becomes c to the 8 plus 2, which gives us c to the 10th power. Power of a power. Can you simplify this? If I give you a to the 2nd power times a to the 3rd power, we know that's a to the 5th. But what happens if I take a to the 2nd to the 3rd power? I will get a to the 6th. If I take c to the negative 3 times c to the 7th, I will get c to the 4th, but c to the negative 3 to the 7th is equal to c to the negative 21st. What happens with this power of a power rule? Let's look. So x squared to the 3rd power. Notice what we've got here. Here's our idea of power to a power. So this time we multiply those exponents and I would get x to the 6th. Again, here there's power to a power, so that's w to the 4 times negative 2, which would give me w to the negative 8. Now I'm going to let you practice. Let's add another layer to this. Notice now I've got a parentheses with more than one base underneath it. What happens here is everything that's inside the parentheses gets raised to that other power. So this one goes here and here, and it becomes x cubed to the 4th and y squared to the 4th. We distribute that final exponent. And now with the rules that we've learned, we know this is x to the 3 times 4, and it's y to the 2 times 4. So we finish with x to the 12th power, y to the 8th power. Trying again down here, we know that this would become x to the 4th to the 5th, y cubed to the 5th, and w to the negative 2 to the 5th. So again, thinking about the idea that we are multiplying here, so multiply, 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 we will end up with x to the 20th, y to the 15th, and w to the negative 10. Now I'm going to let you practice that idea. Alright, putting it all together. So now we're going to combine this new rule with the rules we learned previously, and the idea of rewriting and simplifying, so not going straight to a simplify. So the idea here, first I want to use my power of a power because I need to take care of this. So first thing I'm going to do is think about this as being, remember, x cubed to the 4th times y squared to the 4th over x to the 5th y. So I am doing some rewriting here. to get x to the 12th, y to the 8th, over x to the 5th, y. Now I've got that quotient rule. So I see this fraction bar here, and that tells me we're back to that quotient rule. So now, I'm going to move everything over here. I think about my pairs of x's, and remember that is x to the 12 minus 5. And then I've got the pair of y's, which is going to give me y to the 8 minus 1, for a final answer of x to the 7th, y to the 7th. One more time. Again, I see here we've got this set of parentheses with that outside exponent, so I need to start with the power of a power rule. So again, my rewriting gives me 8 to the 2nd power, a to the 3 times 2, b to the negative 1 times 2, all over 4 a to the negative 2, b cubed. So simplifying that out again, 8 squared is 64, a to the 6th power, b to the negative 2, divided by 4 over a to the negative 2, b cubed. Final step, now because we have this, we're going to use that quotient rule, the very first one that we studied, and we're going to get 64 a to the 6 minus a negative 2, b to the negative 2 minus 3 over 4, and that's going to go ahead and simplify to 64 divided by 4 is 16, and we end up on top with a to the 8th, because I took 6 minus a negative 2, and b to the negative 5. Again, we'll deal with that negative exponent in another lesson. Now I'll have you practice these. So in conclusion today, we learned one more rule, the idea of power to a power. We said when this happens, when we get two exponents sitting right next to each other, then we go ahead and we multiply those. So we would have a to the 21st power. And then we practice combining that with the other two rules.